She said, he came in my trailer while I was breastfeeding. Well, then he produced the text messages showing her saying, I'm breastfeeding, come on over. She, like, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context is an absolute nothing burger.
Blake Lively's reputation might be on the line after Megyn Kelly pulls back the curtain on her lies. Rumors are currently swirling through Hollywood's inner circles and are now splashed over headlines. So what's the latest on the explosive lawsuit between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? Is Blake Lively down and out already? Stay tuned because we're going to reveal all the juicy details of this legal dispute that everyone is talking about. The Accusations, Lively versus Baldoni.
The Hollywood actress Blake Lively has filed a legal complaint against her. It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni, alleging sexual harassment and a campaign to destroy her reputation. Blake Lively says she wants to pull back the curtain on sinister tactics used to harm people who speak up about misconduct. Mr. Baldoni's legal team told the BBC the allegations are categorically false.
Blake Lively's lawsuit against It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni began in December of 2024. Lively's assertions were shocking beyond belief. According to Lively, Baldoni repeatedly entered her makeup trailer uninvited while she was undressed, including when she was breastfeeding. She also accused Baldoni of hiring a crisis PR firm to launch a smear campaign against her after she raised concerns, stating, "Baldoni's goal was to bury me. He wanted to make sure I was not seen as a credible voice speaking out on the film. He was keen on ensuring that my opinion on the film would not be taken seriously." The suit detailed how Baldoni allegedly made inappropriate comments about her body and attempted to add intimate scenes not in the script, which she hadn't consented to. "We Can Bury Anyone" Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine was a lengthy piece in the New York Times that recounted Lively's charges and provided evidence in the form of emails and text conversations. Was this story, though, overly flawless? Overly prefabricated? Megyn Kelly's perspective, exposing the deception. The Megyn Kelly Show podcast host Megyn Kelly did more than only report on the topic. She investigated it thoroughly. Following the initial set of receipts that Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Ryan Friedman, had promised to produce during an interview with Kelly, "When you look at the text in the videos, there's a different story here," she said, casting doubt on the narrative put out by Lively and her crew. The two actors seemed to just be navigating a film set. There was no indication of harassment.
Her big harassment moment. They are playfully acting for the camera, trying to make it look like two lovers, two people in a relationship are dancing with one another. She's giggling, she's holding his hands. They are not speaking as their characters because the sound was not going to be used in the film, but they are in character in the way, obviously Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni are not choosing to hold hands and nuzzle each other and act and behave as lovers in front of this room full of people. They're doing that because they are in character and they are trying to make it look for the camera like they love each other.
Kelly brought attention to instances where Lively appeared to extend an invitation to Baldoni to her caravan, which directly contradicts her assertions of unwelcome incursions by Baldoni. She pointed out this isn't about defending harassment. This is about questioning the truth when it's presented in a way that seems too convenient. Baldoni appeared to be portrayed as a villain in Lively's complaint and the New York Times article. But there's another side to the story when you go deeper. Kelly showed viewers unseen footage of Lively and Baldoni being playful rather than predatory, something many hadn't seen before. Lively may have felt uneasy once the video was released to the public via TMZ and Daily Mail because this wasn't a depiction of harassment, but rather two performers fully immersed in their roles. The counterattack. Baldoni strikes back. Don't put down your popcorn just yet. Justin Baldoni wasn't about to take this lying down.
Because not only did he go after all of these people, but now he decided to flat out release the scene in question, basically the climax of Blake Lively's abuse lawsuit.
Baldoni took a surprising turn when he countersued Lively and the New York Times for $250 million, claiming libel. So what was his point? The NYT article and Lively's allegations were founded on sand, selective text, fabricated narratives, and a blatant disregard of the full context of events and occurrences. In his counter lawsuit, Baldoni presented an alternate version of events, suggesting that Lively was the one who used narrative manipulation to gain control of the production and divert attention away from her personal problems with her public image. He contradicted Lively's allegations of unannounced visits by presenting evidence such as text exchanges in which she invited him to her caravan while she was pumping. He claimed that the New York Times piece relied on communications that had been cherry-picked and changed. Lively allegedly texted Baldoni, "I'm just pumping in my caravan if you want to work out our lines," casting doubt on the story of unwelcome guests. The legal team for Baldoni produced their own evidence in the denial of the smear campaign. This evidence included a chronology of events and communications that demonstrated that the conversations regarding unfavorable news were not intended to be malicious, but rather sarcastic exchanges among public relations experts. One such message said, "You know we can bury anyone, but I can't write that to him," the tone indicating humor rather than any sinister intent. To prove that Lively's claims that Baldoni became too physical and intimate with her were baseless, a video featuring audio from the set of their dance routine strongly suggested Lively's assertions were bogus. Tapes show that they chatted about their spouses, which disproved her claim that he was acting inappropriately. She also claimed that Baldoni had been talking throughout the scene and it was not part of the script. But the video revealed that it was in fact Lively who had the idea to talk and dance because it would be more romantic. Both actors appear to have performed adequately in the sequence, which was entirely improvised. Additionally, Lively claimed that Justin Baldoni refused to use an intimacy coordinator and included kissing scenes that weren't necessary. However, she was the one who declined to meet with the film's intimacy coordinator and instead oversaw the sequences herself. Baldoni acknowledged this in an interview, saying that he allowed Lively to steer scenes like that.
And go through the process. Blake was very involved in that and had amazing ideas and was very hands-on with the choreography of it as well. Honestly, there were many instances on set where I just let the women figure it out, and I took a step back and kind of jumped in more as an actor in those scenes than even as a director.
The evidence unveiling the truth.
And not only that, I'll show other examples of the New York Times, very specifically in this case, where they are not trying to get all sides of the story. I think when you want to be fair, and I've been accused on Blake's side and on Justin's side of, being on the wrong team, but I just want to be fair. I want to get all sides of the story. I want everyone, every stone.
Now let's talk about the meat of this matter, the evidence. Baldoni's team did more than simply level accusations. They also brought digital receipts. They claim that Lively and the New York Times utilized altered versions of the manuscripts, omitting key details that would have given a different impression. As an example, sarcasm and emojis completely altered the tone of a text message exchange in which Lively's crew allegedly discussed planting reports about her. According to the chronology included in Baldoni's lawsuit, Lively's legal team had been plotting this smear for months prior to the film's release in an effort to control and dominate the narrative once the movie made news. Candace Owens joins the fray. The cultural critique.
My money is on Blake Lively being wrong. I think she is 100% wrong. If it doesn't make him a good guy, doesn't make Justin Baldoni a great guy, please do not think I'm a Justin Baldoni stan. I know nothing about him and I hate 90% of Hollywood. But in this circumstance, I just think he's gonna win.
Here we have Candace Owens, a controversial figure whose stories often go against the grain. She was very critical of Lively on her show, describing her as a renegade of modern feminism. According to Owens, Lively's motivation in pursuing the lawsuit was less about actual complaints and more about repairing her reputation. Owens wasn't buying Lively's story. She speculated that Lively and her legal team knew and expected the public would support her because of the hashtag #MeToo movement. According to her, this isn't about protecting victims. This is about using the hashtag #MeToo movement to control narratives when you're on shaky ground. Also, Lively has a history of being called the rudest person an editor has ever dealt with. So this lawsuit might be seen as simply another example of her behavior. She cast doubt on Lively's victimization, saying that genuine victims often don't employ such a deliberate, calculated media approach. Public opinion, a jury of peers. Hashtags such as hashtag Blake Lively lies and hashtag Baldoni vindicated have taken over the debate, turning the public into an impartial juror in this case. Megyn Kelly has lent her voice to the case, igniting debates across platforms due to her respective analysis. People are looking beyond the headlines and into depths of the charges because of the narrative that Kelly has put forward, which has caused many to doubt their initial compassion for Lively. Megyn Kelly believes this instance shows how the media can accept a storyline at face value without checking the facts. For someone like Owens, it's just more proof that some people would wrongly utilize social causes to further their own interests. For someone like Owens, it's just more proof that some people would wrongly utilize social causes to further their own interests. Have you reached a conclusion? Do you have a different impression of Lively's assertions after hearing from Megyn Kelly and other perspectives? Or is there more going on here than what we can see? Is this just a case of falsehoods being told as truths? The onus is on you to evaluate the arguments and information presented and draw your own judgments. So what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories and exclusive insights. See you next time.